Welcome to This is Kimberly A. Bryant. I'm Kimberly, co-host of the Pop Culture Green Room with my twin sister. But this is my solo space to dive deeper. I'm bringing you lifestyle, pop culture, hot topics, reality TV, and fashion, with a little flavor on the side. From hitting local hotspots to cooking with your favorite celebs, we're keeping it fresh, fun, and always on trend. Let's go. Welcome to a special episode from This is Kimberly A. Bryant in partnership with Leela Yoga Studio, where transformation begins on the mat and flows into every part of life. In this episode, I'm joined by my dear friend of over 15 years, Rikki Hegwood Hester, a radiant soul and current yoga teacher training student at Leela Yoga. She opens up about her incredible journey through the program and how yoga has completely changed her life, mind, body, and spirit. We're also honored to be joined by Zoe Klein, a dedicated instructor at Leela Yoga and true embodiment of the Leela Lifestyle. Together, we explore what yoga truly means beyond the poses and how this sacred practice brings healing, strength, and clarity. Whether you're a seasoned yogi or just yoga curious, this conversation will inspire you to breathe deeper, move with intention, and reconnect with your purpose. Well, hello, all y'all good people. It is Kimberly A. Bryant here, and I've got with me Rikki and Zoe. And guess what, y'all? We are talking about yoga, and we're talking about yoga, being a yoga teacher and trainee.
Yes,
and so I'm super excited because my friend Rikki here she is getting certified and learning how to become a yoga instructor, and we've got her yoga instructor here, and so we are so happy to be here. And y'all, I got to take one of these classes, so if you're in the Baton Rouge area, we're gonna drop all the info because you'll have to come out here and sign up and take these classes because, oh my gosh, I was like in tears from a good way, like happy, healthy, like tearful, like crying. I was like, oh my gosh, I just felt that balance and like no judgment and just so freaking, I feel good, look.
I should be here the whole time, sorry.
You're so fun, but oh my gosh. So let's see here, let's start off. So what in the world inspired you to start this yoga teaching training journey?
So for me, I am 39 now, and I've been taking yoga for a long time. I started out in Baton Rouge, so I've lived in Baton Rouge now for a long time, but I was going to a yoga studio on the other side of town several years ago, and I loved it, and I thought about taking the YTT program then, and that was many, many moons back, and they ended up closing their doors, and then my favorite, like my teachers that I loved there, they moved on, and so then I started doing like different workouts in town, like bar, just kind of hopping, gym hopping, that kind of thing. And it took a while to get back into yoga on a regular basis. And like the day that I walked through the doors here, I must have I felt like magic. I felt magic inside. And so that was over a year ago or so. And so finally I got to the point where I was coming to yoga regularly. And in the past, like I work in the film industry, and so really with that, we work like 12-hour days on average. And 2 years ago, I think, we were on strike, barely working. I was doing odd jobs. So I think that's when I started getting back into yoga again. Of course, like when I have less money, I start paying for more things. And then I guess last year I was doing yoga full time, but I went on a trip I went to Thailand where my sister lives, and then Costa Rica for my friend's wedding. And my best friend, Eliza, shout out to Eliza in Topanga Canyon, she did her YTT years ago and always told me like, Rikki, I think this is something that you need to do, and really try to inspire me, but I never felt like, how am I going to do it with my job, or how will I juggle many more things and add this to the plate? And so finally, seeing her in Costa Rica and after doing yoga, getting back into it, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll do it. And my grandma passed away in September, I believe, of last year. And I was like, you know what, we don't live forever. Like, we really don't. And so I was like, I just need to just do it. And I saw Lisa again at the end of the year, maybe around November or December, and she's like, have you signed up yet for YTT? And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, you know what? And I just signed up and I just did it. And then I found out, my sister, well, I knew my sister was having a baby, but then it's like my parents are like, we're gonna go see Jenna in Thailand at this time in April. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be in YTT, and with the schedule, so I didn't go see my sister. I haven't met her baby yet. But for me, it's kind of like you give up things to make space in other ways in your life. And so, and even throughout the training, I'm like, man, maybe I should have, like, in the beginning, I was like having kind of that impostor syndrome, not being able to do this. Like, I don't know. Should I have just gone to Thailand and met my nephew? But now that we're a week away from our finals and doing our final test flow, and just to know, it's like I'm about to graduate, and my mom actually gets back from Thailand the night before I take my test. And I don't know, I feel like it was worth it. Like, I missed out, but I don't feel like I missed out on anything. And I'll go back to Thailand, and now that she lives there, I'm realizing like I could do training in Thailand in other ways when I'm visiting her. So I'm excited to like graduate, but then also to grow and keep being a student at the same time and always learning. And I don't know, I'm excited to see where it takes me. Yes. It's been so much fun. It's been a lot of fun.
I love that. That's awesome. And so, Zoe, for you watching Rikki's growth, and like how's that been for you to experience it and see it? Because I know that it's definitely been a transition, because you've even explained that.
Oh my gosh. Where to start? Let me think about this.
We go way back.
Yes. So I recognized Rikki when he came to the studio, and I was just like, you're awesome, you're amazing, I'm so glad you're here. Come to class. I'm here every day. Come, looking forward to practicing and waking up for the YPT. I was just thrilled, absolutely thrilled. And I knew that she had a dancing background, and I jumped in with her to another class, and I was blown away at her choreographic skills. Okay, so she's got skills anyway, and just the personality is just so wonderful and supportive and loving and kind and genuine. It's been great to see you progress, and which I knew you would. And just going from like not having the confidence to be kind of pushing you, forcing you out there. Just putting you on the spot when I knew that you were capable of doing it, and then using yourself to do it, and then you're being like, yeah.
That is so cool. I love it. I love it.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. And YTT, like at some point Zoe's coming in on a weekend and being a guest, and then she's like, Rikki, why don't you open up the practice?
I'm like, she can do it.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
So how did you feel? Like,
she was like, I was like, you do it now.
Oh, my heart is racing. But you know what? Like, that day was the day that I felt like, oh my God, like it felt like a complete shift in the whole program was that day, not just for me, but like everybody. After that, we started doing like round robin, and everybody just started getting really into it, and I feel like you really could see like everybody's confidence level just like soaring. I think it's been like a progression ever since. I don't know, something about that weekend, like it's been so fun.
I love that. So it almost seems like you were pushed out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you kind of have to be.
I wouldn't have done it though if I didn't have 100% faith that you could. I mean, but she'd gone through it with me, and I just was like, do it now.
Yeah.
But you could back, if it was an option to back out, you would have, I think. But it was not an option.
I didn't know it was an option.
It was not an option.
I also realized like that's probably what I love about YTT. It does push you out your comfort zone, and like everybody's kind of going through different points in their life, and a lot of us are like maybe in job transitions, relationship transitions, And I think by just like taking this chance and putting yourself out there, especially as an older person, because when you get older, you know.
What are you talking about?
Okay. I mean, when I'm not like 18, you know, like half my life ago. But like sometimes it gets harder to make friends as you get older, right? Like just things like that. And sometimes you get like more like in yourself and like staying at home more, those kinds of qualities. And so this like actually brought out like not just confidence within yoga, but like within yourself. So like you're more likely to just like say yes to things. Like if an opportunity knocks on your door, you're just like, okay. And if I fail, I fail. If I do awesome, I do awesome. You know. So I think like it kind of helps you with like realizing like in life, yes, we only have one chance and like just or one life, and just like go for it. You know, just
That's
try.
yoga, right?
Yeah.
It begins when you leave the nest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it does.
That's true. It does. Oh, that's like they're like doing off in my head.
This is only the beginning.
It is.
This is the beginning.
It is.
Oh, got it. So what was life like for both of y'all? Like what was life like before y'all like really discovered yoga and started teaching?
A lot more stressful, I think, and a lot more emotional roller coaster than the skills that I've learned from yoga. You know, just being able to just kind of pause and not have a direct emotional reaction as much, being able to just kind of sit back when situations arise because situations arise, and just being able to just not react, but kind of just breathe, pause, and not have an immediate reaction. That's helped me a lot, along with so many other things. I mean, I love yoga and the lifestyle, the people that I get to meet, and I get to. I'm just very blessed in so many ways. And this place is my home base. It's my family. I have friends. Like,
I had that sense of it too, even like when I walked in and met you, and I already knew what it was gonna be like, just, you know, from knowing Rikki, for so long.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, for so many years, and it's just, I then when and hearing you just coaching everybody through it. But it's like I felt like you were just talking to me, so I got lost and like I closed my eyes off, I forgot where I was, and I literally felt like I was in a therapy session because I've never listened to the words that my yoga instructors ever. I've always just kind of just coasted and breezed through it. But this is the first time I actually listened to your words, and I just felt like no judgment.
Yes.
And I was able to like go, and then I'm like, yo, come take this class. That's all I can say. And like I said, towards the end, I like started to my eyes and I was getting emotional. I was like, wait, my eyes just sticking together. I was tearing up.
I teared up too.
Just an emotion.
I teared up too.
And that's when you're like, you're in the right
This is
spot.
emotional release because it's there's some trauma in our hips, in the neck, and in the body. So just moving the body around, breathing. A lot of people actually have some big cry sessions in here. So
I've had so many cry sessions
it's a
in this
release.
room.
It's like
And it's funny because it's like you don't think about how important that is.
Yes.
One word can like completely change you.
absolutely.
So
Powerful stuff.
I know that's so. Oh my gosh. So like, what's one thing that you've learned like about yourself specifically in this journey?
I know for me, like a lot of what you were saying, I struggle with anxiety, feeling anxious, letting my mind keep going. Like our minds are just constant. It's like our brain is in a battle with itself constantly. And by coming to this practice regularly, it helps me not only just slow down, but like to like have a whole hour where I don't think about anything. I just listen to the words that my instructor says, and I try to take that with me home. And I'm a human, so I'm not perfect. So it's like I got to keep going because I have to keep practicing.
Yes.
And the more I practice this, and the more I listen, and the more I practice my meditation or stay calm or practice my breath work, the more I will likely be able to do that off the mat without even thinking about it. Like it will just become more of an instinct. And for example, like I really struggle with like claustrophobia and flying, and my sister lives in Thailand, so I have to fly like in an airplane for 29 hours. Hey! And like to be on the plane, like I can do the breath work that we learn here, take that with me, and maybe change, instead of watching a movie on the plane, listen to, they have like little meditation sounds and stuff, something that's more soothing and calming, and then just like closing my eyes. That will take my heart rate from this, to this. So like I can control it, and I realize I can do that anywhere. And so it helps me with my day-to-day. It's like you were saying, not reacting immediately. And I'm not perfect, I still do it. But the more I keep doing this, the better I will be in those areas of my life.
And so one of the things with my go-tos is that yoga doesn't, make your life easier, but it gives you tools to deal with life. Because there's always going to be stress, there's always going to be storms. It's the way it is. But yoga really can give you a lot of skills to help just deal with it smoother and
That's true. And like your words have resonated with me too, like during the class, whenever you said it's like you are now like within yourself, like you found the peace within yourself, that's where it is. And I'm like, that is so true, because it's like you can go anywhere else and be like around like burning buildings or all this chaos. Yes. And if you can get that peace within yourself, you're gonna be fine, okay? Yes. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, it's so true. It's like you get more out of a yoga class than just like stretching and
stretching. It's definitely
I
have such a misconception about what yoga is. People don't have any idea what yoga is.
And that's why YTT is so cool, because I did yoga before this, and like I remember the first weekend of YTT, one of the girls that works here now that had graduated from the YTT before, she was like, oh, y'all's first meeting is tonight, you're gonna learn so much. And in my mind I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna finally learn what some of those words they say mean. I had no idea the amount of self-study. I didn't know how much I was gonna learn about myself. Like there's so many nights where I'm sitting in the bathtub, but like reading from the books that they told us to read, and I'm actually reading it. And just like this one chapter, like I just go into a deep dive in it, and I'm sitting there crying in my bathtub.
Releasing.
Exactly. It's good. It's not like I'm sad. I'm like, it just makes so much sense now. And people have been experiencing this for thousands. So I'm not unique, right? Like I realize that I'm not unique. I am, but like we're unique, but like we're our own person. But people from 1,000 years ago had the same feelings as me, and realized somebody 1,000 years from now is going to need the same tool, right? So it's pretty cool when you think about it that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so with that being said, like, and I see that you found a community, and then like, and Zoe had said that too, also the importance of community. So like, how do y'all feel like about the community within the yoga studio, and like how like you feel personally in your group?
When I say I walked in the door and I felt like magic, it was because not only from the instructor that we had and what we were doing in class, a lot of that was just because of how everybody here is so welcoming. Yeah. It doesn't matter what time of day you're here, which class it is. Everyone is so welcoming, and you will see the same, the familiar faces. So you get to know the people sitting next to you on the mat. And especially when you do YTT, you are here so much, right?
Very bonding.
It's a really big bonding experience. So like we had 9 or 10 people in our group, and so
that bond will stay the rest of your life.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Because like you said, that's something that not everybody experiences, and it's a journey that you go on. And not only that, but I also learned too that with yoga, you're always learning.
Yes.
And because I heard y'all talking about like there's hours of like, you can take like hours and hours. You don't want to get into that some more about like the hours of instruction.
It never ends. I mean, I think I was surprised personally when I did my first training, how much of the first program I did, it was not actually the physical part of it. Mm-hmm. So we don't think of yoga as the physical.
Right.
But there's 8 limbs to it, and the physical part is only one limb. And then there's 7 other limbs, ranges, which are deep dive.
Yeah.
That is fascinating. That's so fascinating.
But I do think there's so much power in, moving the body, getting out of your mind. basically just having, I like somebody just telling you what to do, so I don't have to think.
Right. Oh yeah.
Right?
I love that too.
Right? So you said,
And then coming to assist me, and then reminding me that I'm doing a good job. Even if I fall, I just get right back up. So, and it's funny because even in class, like every class that I'm in, I find myself even learning something new. And you're thinking like, oh, we might only do X amount of asana poses or whatever. But like, there's so many different ways to get in, to get out, different cues and like adjustments. And yesterday we were just doing something, so I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was more like the instructor told me to turn more with my neck a certain way, and then I realized I could actually reach farther for my foot just because I needed to turn my head a little ways. And I'm thinking to myself, I've been doing yoga for how long? And here I am learning something else new. So you become so in tune with your body, how you feel, and like the different sensations.
Right.
And where to place, and you're only gonna discover that if you continue with the practice.
Definitely. And so with you being a dancer, do you find like your muscles are engaging different muscles and the movements? Yeah, I forget that.
Yes. Because I will be sore. I'm like, why am I sore? I'm a physical person all the time. It's completely different. And what's so awesome is it's such a perfect pairing. And I can tell you because I'm in a Mardi Gras dance group, Baton Rouge Beignets, just a little shout out, follow us on Instagram. But we dance with umbrellas for a lot of our dances. And I came back when YTT was starting, I was so upset because I was having so much wrist pain from the umbrellas and shoulder pain. And I did like a little drop at something and I pulled all of my leg was torn. And I thought, oh my gosh, am I ever gonna be able to do YTT? So we're at 5 months past that. I can do Trikonasana on my left, not as far as I used to. And certain things I can go deeper. When it was hurting before, I don't have that pain anymore. And I forgot what my wrist feels like from the pain. And so it's yoga that's helping me with those elements. So like the combination is it's perfect. Like I need a little bit of that and a little bit of this, and then
we're just obsessed with yoga.
Yeah, we're just like it all.
That is awesome. So what would you tell like your past self about this journey, like that you're on now?
I would tell my past self I should have been saying yes to more things. I mean, I think I do, but just like, and not to be so afraid of stuff. Like, why was I afraid to try something new? Like, look what I've done now, you know? And it's just funny looking back thinking, so when I meet people now that are younger than me, I've been like really trying to instill that and then like just go for anything because I'm thinking about my younger self. Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's super awesome. Yeah, so if you could tell everybody, like, where, don't want to tell everybody where you can like find out where about this yoga class, about the yoga teacher training, all that different things. Shop that.
On Instagram, Leela Yoga Lifestyle is, I guess, the main place.
Leela. It means divine play too. And we did a lot of play in the last time.
It is divine play, right? There's no actual Leela person, but that's the name of the studio in Baton Rouge on Highland Road. I'm Warrior _yoga on Instagram. Posting stuff always.
I am Rictoria86, RIKTORIA. But I don't really post too much yoga. That's more just my personal page. But maybe I'll post more yoga stuff to come.
But I post a lot of like free yoga events that are going on.
Fun.
You have to check it out. Like on Mars, it's free on Monday nights. But tonight here at the studio or Friday nights, we try and have a regular free open class to the public. Tonight too, but it's not out. So.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're gonna be here all night.
Yeah. So like if you haven't been to the studio, there's many opportunities to come and check it out and try. There's beginners classes. You know, classes do vary. Every teacher is different. You definitely want to check the schedule. If it's not like you can always just necessarily walk in.
Yeah, there's usually like an intro pass offer where it's like a month or a certain amount of time for X amount of dollars. And if you do sign up for that, then that's a situation where you want to try to go as much as possible into as many classes as possible, because that's where you're going to really find like what class resonates with you the best.
That does make sense.
And
And it's a nice mix too, because each teacher is so different.
There's so many great teachers.
And every class is good.
Awesome. I love that. Oh, well, thank y'all so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that wraps us up for our podcast. So thank y'all for joining us. This is Kimberly A. Bryant and the Pop Culture Green Room. Y'all have a great weekend.
Oh yeah, and YTT starts